Well, hey guys, and welcome back to Dan's Pro Shop. Today, it's really nothing earth-shattering, but something that's been looming on the honeydew list. Well, at least my honeydew list anyway. So if you guys have been around for a minute, you know that not so long ago, well, I guess long enough ago, hence the project we're doing today, is I kind of switched careers. Well, not really careers, but jobs. So you know that I used to be a full-time industrial maintenance technician at a plastic injection plant. And it's just fine and dandy. I still love that. I still love doing it. And actually, I still do a lot of subcontracting for that place. It's just I had a career opportunity, so I went for it. But if you guys know, this black roll-around Husky box right here, that was my primary box at that job. And since I left it and brought this box back home, the intent was to kind of make this corner right here into like the bike zone. That way, like the main box that's over there stays for all my heavy crap, like the 3/4 stuff and like big diesel stuff and automotive stays in the big box. And this little black box is going to be the more, dare I say, intricate little easy to get to bike stuff. So whenever I'm working on the lift, it's right here. However, that job change happened over a year ago now, and I have done diddly squat on changing this box over from industrial maintenance to motorcycle mechanicking. So this box is just full of really unnecessary stuff for this, and it's high time I kind of rectify this and do what I need to. So yeah, hang around. We're just going to go through some tools today and try to make this thing a little more useful. So the plan is, well, I'll tell you what, before we start this, if you guys have been around, I've actually done a couple toolbox tours of this box. I believe that there's actually 2 full tours, and they're pretty in depth. I split it up because I didn't want to take forever to do one. So if you're interested in checking out the toolbox tours and the way that this thing currently exists, check it out up here or down in the comments. Like I mentioned, I think there's 2 of them. But either way, you know, it's the stuff that's in here isn't super applicable to like working on dirt bikes and motorcycles and stuff. Like, I don't know, for instance, a 36-inch pipe wrench may not be that suitable for changing carburetors or, you know, doing wheel bearings. So, I don't know. I got some stuff I want to move around and things, and I don't know. There's probably a reason I've been sitting on this for a year because I just, I don't know. But either way, I don't know. Sit back, relax, enjoy some tunes, and we're going to go through this. Got me a couple sets of these fancy new Icon wrenches here. These things, I gotta tell you, they are impressive. But, trying to make all this work, gonna be tricky. Man, I gotta tell you, this may have been a bigger undertaking than I anticipated. There is so much crap in here. So it's not the problem really of reorganizing this thing and making it purposeful for what I'm attempting to do. It's what am I supposed to do with the horrific abundance of stuff I'm taking out of this that I don't really like? When am I gonna need an 1 3/4 inch drive socket for working on motorcycles? And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I got the top part kind of settled, and now it's just the bottom junk drawer. You know, the one that's like 10 inches deep and it's just full. Well, keep digging. This is a lot more than I was expecting. Well, guys, I don't know. I mean, I think we might be done. But I mean, hey, if you're a toolbox person, mechanic doing what you know, you're never done. You know, like done isn't done. But I don't know. I guess let's go over what stayed, what didn't, what moved, and oh, it's a lot of crap. Now, as far as what didn't make the cut, I really don't know what to do with, was some really like industrial related stuff. Like this is like electrical cord grips and a bunch of copper and brass stuff. Like that's a 24-volt alarm. All this stuff was like specific to water and like hydraulic fittings and stuff, which clearly I'm not going to need. We got some thermocouple wiring, you know, just in case. A hydraulic pressure gauge that goes up to 6K, so that's awesome. But definitely won't need it in here. We got some 24-volt and 120-volt air valves, some timer relays, this polar thingy that I invented. And then here, we got taps and dies specifically for pipe thread. So this is 1/8 inch through 1 inch NPT taps and dies. So clearly I won't need that crap. Got some more water fittings. And then like giant sockets that I'm not going to need for fixing motorcycles. And then this huge mamma jamma that I made specifically to take a hydraulic valve out of a valve stack. So yeah, I guess I got to find a home for all this crap, but let's go over what stayed in. All right, please excuse the shakiness, but you guys are now handheld. Let's take a look at this thing now. So top drawer. This is your main go-to for the majority of everything that you may get into. So I got myself, this is like the sunex 3/8 master kit for impact stuff. And since we're impacting, this is just, you know, I've gone through a lot of crap in my day, and chrome sockets are fine and dandy, but more often than not, you know, impacts will get you home. So this is, I believe, what do we got here? 5/16 up to 3/4 in shallow and deep, along with wobbles. And there's even Torx bits in this set with some random extensions and its own little universal joint. We got some extra extensions and stubby wrenches back there that we just may need. And then hex drive stuff, because that's big on bikes. Honestly, no matter what you get into anymore, it's just socket head cap screws are a big deal. Got us a 1/2 inch, 3/8, and 1/4 inch regular old ratchet. And then these are those wobble plus extensions. Love those things. Got us a cordless 3/8, cordless 3/8 impact. And then this is an axle nut wrench for a Harley. If you guys have never seen one of these things, it's weird. The way you get to that axle nut, like, it's difficult to do with a traditional socket. So they make this thing, and you put a 1/2 inch ratchet on this, and it just makes the whole thing way easier. But typical thing for a Harley, nice to have around. Then we got the Icon wrenches. You guys can tell they're still brandy new. I haven't used them yet. I got them on a deal way back, I don't know, a couple months. These things are typically like $130 or $140 a kit. They were on sale for $65 each, so essentially half off. I couldn't pass them up. Haven't really played with them much yet, but once I do, I'll give you guys an update. I was super stoked about these things. This guy here is just that 10 millimeter like set from Harbor Freight. And again, another deal. This was $4.99 on sale, I think Black Friday, but either way, crazy deal. This here again is specific Harley stuff. This is a 3/8 inch drive, deep well, 12 point. This is specifically for Harley brake calipers. Because again, it's another weird bolt. It's difficult to get to if you don't have the correct thing. So this socket is specifically for HD brake calipers. And again, Harley specific oil filter wrench, not absolutely necessary, but you see how we got a little cutout here? That is for the crank sensor. So, you know, you can get away with using traditional stuff, but you know, this is cheap. It's just nice to have. We got our Allens. We got some little adapters and whatnot, you know, wobbles, extensions, upducers, reducers, whatever we might need for the socket stuff. Some pens, markers. Over here, we got extended ball Allens and regular extended reach, like miter cut Allens. Again, a good thing to have because a lot of socket head cap screws. Here we have internal and external Torx, and that about wraps up the top drawer. So this is your main go-to. Down here to number 2. This is like more along the lines of pliers and screwdrivers. So back here, yes, there is a lot of crossover. Like, am I going to need a pipe wrench? No, but they fit there and I know where they are. Some extra insulated screwdrivers. Here, these guys are snap-on seal pullers, and they are just really, really nice. If you're doing anything that's like particular or, you know, anything rubberized or particularly a seal, that's specifically what those are made for, is like putting seals in hydraulic cylinders. I absolutely love these things. Had them forever. They work great. A regular screwdriver kit. Here we got a hole gauge, you know, just measuring bolts or screwdrivers or drill bits, you know what I mean. Here we got a digital caliper because accurate measurements on stuff on a motorcycle matters. And then here, just a random assortment of pliers. This is like a precision screwdriver kit and like some mini dikes for getting good cuts on zip ties and stuff. And yeah, just stuff going on in here. Next one down, we got the beaten on stuff drawer. So we got a homemade hammer, absolutely my favorite. Me and this old boy have been together for about 20 years. Love that hammer, will die with it. This is one of those like $6 Harbor Freight dead blows. Love it, love it, love it. Again, a crappy Harbor Freight ball peen hammer, but you can tell this thing has some miles on it. We've been together for a long time. Some pry bars, some brass punches, some regular steel punches, some drifts. This is just a hollow pipe that it's nice to use for like an extension or a cheater bar if you need to get on something. Again, some more brass for like pounding out axles and stuff. We got some regular hand files. We got a round one, a flat one, a triangle one. Some more punches. This guy here is a punch and chisel kit. This is a center punch kit for roll pins. And this is, I honestly don't even remember what this is. I think this is just center punches. Some random other stuff. These are tap handle sockets. Super handy. That way, if you're driving a tap, you can now fix it to a 3/8 ratchet. Really handy. Love these things. Then we got the Milwaukee M12 90-degree angle grinder. We got some cookies and discs, some die grinding stuff, some wire wheel stuff, and then, yeah, we still got the 36-inch pipe wrench because I simply just don't know what to do with it. And down here, the last small drawer, this is the electronics. So here we have a master Deutsch connector kit for removal and install. These are a big deal with like weather-tight connectors, a lot in automotive, and becoming more prominent in motorcycle. So having one of these kits, big deal. This guy here is just another like master terminal disconnect kit. Some zip ties, some wire markers in case you tear stuff apart, you can keep track of it. Here we have wire furls and a couple different crimpers for different crimp styles on the furls. Wire cutters and strippers, wire crimpers, or for like butt connectors and stuff like that. Even though I don't like to use them, these are really super handy pliers. We got a spool of wire here. This is some of that fiberglass, like heat-resistant tape. If you're doing a harness that's close to your exhaust or something that you don't want exposed to heat, this is all fiberglass reinforced wire, tape, and insulation. And we have the Fluke IC for thermal imaging. You know, if you're looking for like a dead hole in your engine or something, you know, just, it's nice to have around. We got extension test leads, a traditional old Weller. This guy is for heavy duty terminals that definitely wouldn't be used on a motorcycle, but again, it's there. I don't really have a place for it. This guy here is a 3-phase rotation indicator. Definitely not going to use that on a motorcycle, but again, don't really have a place, but it fits well with what's going on here. This guy here is a master Fluke like accessory kit, and this is RJ45 communication cable, all that stuff. Again, don't really have a place for it. Up here, we got some helping hands. Got my absolute favorite Kai Wheats soldering pen here. Love it, love it, love it. These are attachments for that thing. And then the trusty Fluke 179. Favorite meter, right there, easy to get to. And then all the way down here at the bottom, the junk drawer. A lot of the stuff stayed the same in here. Some changed, some didn't. So back here in this box, we got this little packet of JB Weld, because you never know what you're going to get into. You know, you break something at 11 o'clock on a Sunday night, well, you're screwed. So keep yourself a brand new pack of JB Weld. I try to switch that out about once a year so I know it's fresh. Got a little kit of jobber drill bits here. This is some dry graphite lube. An electrical fish tape, 50 feet long. Definitely won't need it, but it fits there really nice. Here we got, these are just regular old wire nuts. Yep. Some extra safety glasses, and a giant 1-gallon bin of random bolts and nuts and washers and stuff that I have no place to put, and I really don't know what to do with, but I cannot talk myself into getting rid of it, because one day something in there will save my butt. I guarantee it. And then here we just got a little hand tube of white lithium multi-purpose grease. Nice to have for installing different stuff and whatever. Here we got a bore scope. Super handy, really nice to have. This is a 3-jaw puller. This guy is a knockout kit for industrial electrical cabinets. Again, not really a place for it, but it fits there really well. Here we have a wheel bearing puller and installer kit for Harleys. This is a pop rivet gun set. Let's see, we got a Milwaukee heat gun, a radio for the tunes, regardless of the fact that we already got tunes. This guy here is a little nifty add-on thing for your Milwaukee batteries. It's just like an off-road 12-volt light. But I tell you, if you guys are familiar with the regular Milwaukee lights, how they're like yellow and you don't like that, well, upgrade yourself to a regular LED light. Down here we got some ear pro, because you never know what you're going to get into. It's just nice to have that handy. Got some Sawzall bits, and down here, metric machine screw kit. It's just, again, 10 o'clock on a Sunday night, you don't know what you're getting into. It's nice to have hardware laying around. These guys, don't worry about this. This was a checkout counter, $3.99, so I grabbed up a couple of those. And down here, majority of zip ties. Got, I think, 8-inch and 3-inch little ones for doing wiring. Buried back in here is a nice little butane torch, just handy to have. And then over here, we got the M12 Sawzall, M12 Light, M12 bandsaw. Again, really needed for motorcycles? Nope, but it fits in there great, and it's way more organized than it used to be. Finally, over here on the right, this really didn't change much. This is like my to-go bag, my man purse. This was my industrial EMT first responders bag. I absolutely loved this thing. It's put together very well. I didn't change anything. So whenever someone calls me like, hey, Dan, can you come help me do something in the shop? Like the panel's acting weird. I grab that and go. It's set up with everything I need. I absolutely love it, and it'll stay the same. Up top there, we got some extra AA and AAA batteries for whatever you might get into. And then the center there is a gram scale. You know, not often do I need to weigh stuff anymore, but back in the day at the plastic plant, I needed to know what different parts weighed down to the gram. And since I bought it, you know, keep it, whatever. And behind the bag there is an extra Milwaukee charger, because it plugs into the box and everything just works out really well. Well, guys, I'm sure that was boring as all get out. But, hey, you know, I'm just poking around here in the garage this weekend, and this has been something that's looming in the background of me forever. Like, I wanted to set this thing up for what I wanted it for. And like I mentioned, it's probably never going to be right. You know, toolboxes are ever evolving. You get stuff, you sell stuff. And, well, let's be honest, you're not selling tools. But you get stuff and then you got to find a place to put it, or like you upgrade something, but you definitely don't want to get rid of the thing that you upgraded because now you have two of them. And like that's kind of the whole point of the silver box over there that you saw. It's like, yes, that's the heavier stuff, like for bigger automotive and heavy diesel and stuff. But a lot of like overflow from this goes to that. And then like my current work box, extra stuff goes there. And then like the roll around cart in the corner, a lot of the extra stuff goes there. Oh, the stuff that's in the trailer, the extra stuff goes in there. So it's like that box is kind of like a hodgepodge. It's not really the main go-to, but hopefully coming up here soon, I want to like redo this whole thing, like really upgrade my tool setup. And what I mean by that is I'm sure that you guys have been to the Harbor Freight within the last year or two or whatever. These new US General Series 3 boxes, I gotta tell you, are freaking impressive. And the more I look, the more I like. And they go on sale all the time, you know, different stuff, different holidays, whatever. You know how Harbor Freight works. Oh, we haven't seen you in a couple months. Here's a coupon for 20%, anything in the store. Well, if you guys have looked, these Series 3 toolboxes, I think the 72-inch bottom box is normally like $1,600 or something. Usually goes on sale for like $12.99. And for a 72-inch box with like power drawers and the full-length latch, lock, and this and that, that is a screaming deal. So to get a bottom box, a top box that matches it, I'm not necessarily going to use a hutch because, I mean, this isn't like a dealership environment. I don't need a hutch. I have workbenches and stuff. I have a desk. So a hutch is kind of a waste of space / money if you ask me, at least in a home environment anyway. Don't get me wrong, they look cool, but I would get way more purpose and storage and use out of an actual top box. So the plan was one of those bottoms, one of those tops, and then a side locker. So hopefully I can put all the big crap like in the blow molded cases and everything in there, like put my scanner in there. And now that the garage is a little more climate controlled than it used to be, you know, keeping delicate electronics out here ain't that big of a deal because, brother, there's a lot of crap in the house too that I don't want to keep out here because I'm afraid of stuff breaking or batteries blowing up or whatever. But the goal is to consolidate this half of the workbench, because there's that roll cart underneath there, and probably a lot of crap that's in the trailer, into one main work center here. I don't know. I just got to pull the trigger on blowing all that money for a new toolbox when I kind of don't need one. Yeah, I don't know. But either way, at least we kind of like got that thing taken care of. By that thing, I mean this thing. This is an awesome freaking box. This was a 54 or 56 inch Husky like mobile workbench. But it was like a perfect application for what I needed at the mill. Whenever I was rolling around to different machines doing stuff, you know, you basically take your whole shop with you and then you essentially have a workbench. You guys can tell here I mounted a bench vise on top of it. And like at one point there was a bench grinder on here. And it's just a freaking handy thing. And now it's like the island of my garage. You know, my desk is on the other side and this is still an actual workbench. And now this is my go-to motorcycle box that just happens to be right next to the motorcycle lift. It's almost like I thought about it that way. But either way, super handy, and I love this crap. So hopefully you guys like tools as much as I do. I mean, if you're still here watching, chances are you do. So yeah, if you decide to go on an undertaking like this, just be prepared. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little one, and we will see you next time.